Hi, I'm Ryan Lawson. I teach geology here at Havant South Downs College, and as you can see, we do lots of trips from the Isle of Wight to Lowell Cove, Kimmeridge Bay, along the south coast. We investigate local chalk to look at the rock type, the environment, the different sediment sizes, how some of these rocks are now vertical when they actually should be horizontal. Lots of students measuring and enjoying the outdoors as they're doing that. And as you can see, Iceland as well is an optional trip. So let's go inside and have a look at the practical and the lab. Welcome, we're back again. As you can see, we have a bespoke geology lab here. We have a huge range of samples, some very close ties with Portsmouth University, where they've actually donated some microscopes to the lab here, where we would take tiny little thin sections of rocks and samples and magnify them up and see some wonderful images of different rock types, and try and work out, for example, in igneous rocks, the cooling history. So if you have rocks like this, which are glassy in appearance, very, very sharp. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, this is basically dragon glass. So it's called obsidian, and it would have cooled very, very quickly. So that's one of the things that we might look at. Something like this, again, an igneous rock, lava erupting from a volcano. We would look and see how it's full of what we call vesicles or gas bubbles. These have been infilled with crystals here. So we would be investigating the rock types to help us investigate a volcano, what type of eruption it would be, and help predict or forecast eruptions for the future, and hopefully save lives that way. So that's one application of geology. It's not just about the rocks, but they do tell us and help us understand the Earth, and that's what we're studying here. So we've got other rock types as well. We'd investigate how we've got something like that formed, which is clearly a bit messed up, and that's what we would call a metamorphic rock, and that would be formed by some intense pressure, bending and shaping these rocks. So if you've ever, hopefully heard of the Himalayas or something like the Alps, they're fold mountains which have been formed by huge pressures on our Earth's surface, and sometimes deep within the Earth as well. We also look at rocks at our surface, of course, not just metamorphic and igneous. We also look at sedimentary rocks like this one here, which is crisscrossed with these wonderful what are effectively burrows made by an ancient organism which are preserved in the rock layers, and also this surface here, which is undulating up and down, is produced by movement of water in an ancient environment. So that's pretty impressive. A nice colour as well, which shows the rusty nature, shows it's been oxidised at the surface. So students would be investigating the past and using their own knowledge of the planet to work out what's happened in an area and in the past. We've got another common rock type here for the local area, nice bit of chalk, which we know is a carbonate, and we know is made of tiny microfossils and ancient organisms, because we can look at it under the microscope, or we can use some acid on it, and that will fizz beautifully and tell us that it's made of calcium carbonate. We would also use these to magnify up different rock types and look at the different structures under a hand lens as well, if we're not using the microscopes to do that. So as you can see, we've got a huge range of samples here, from fossils to rock types, also models as well. So this model over here would be used to investigate earthquakes and how different structures might withstand earthquakes. You'll see in the practical where we were investigating the effect of heat on different rock types as well. So students have the opportunity to do practical elements most weeks, if not most lessons in geology, using the samples or using some other equipment that we've got here. And about 50% of students go on then to study at university geology or geology related subjects. So it is very interesting. If you like the earth and you're interested in science, then geology is definitely for you. And yeah, I hope you come here and get involved and study geology.